Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Matt and it is Bloodthirsty Thursday. First and foremost, I hope each and every one of you are having a great morning, evening, dawn, day, or dusk. Even the ones that aren't happy to see my face, I am so happy to see you. Please do like, share, and subscribe, guys, because it does make me happy seeing the new faces around here. Do always look for more in the description box down below, or if you're on the Facebook, it's up above. You always get a brief synopsis and a few little trivia points in there if I know anything fun or if I come across anything fun or not. That'll be in there. And there's always a link for the trailer in the description box. Always, always, always remember that. So if you're ever even more curious about the film, if you want to see something about what it looks like, do look at that in the description box, because most of them are it can make or break a film. Yep. Anyways, today's is a fun one. You should check out the trailer for it no matter what, even if you don't like trailers. If you don't watch the movie, just watch the trailer because it's a blast. Like, if you like trauma or silly stuff like that, you will definitely dig this one. It is just out of this world how goofy and different and original this is. Like, I can't think of any other movie that I know of where they've done something like this. I've seen them transplant brains into everything you can think of, but never into a dinosaur. You know, it's really weird. But in this fashion, in like a silly little love story. But this one came out in 93, 94-ish. The back of the box list says 93. IMDb says 94. I went with 93 just because usually the box is a lot more reliable. This cut is running at an hour and 30 minutes. There is two different cuts on this one. There's the uncensored cut, which is what I've watched. Now, I have not watched the PG-13 cut without all the gore added to it, or I'm guessing a few other little things here and there have been removed from it. Maybe some of the one-liners that are not quite friendly, I guess, because there are some crazy one-liners in here. Two characters I'll talk about here in a little bit. Now this one, it stars the deceased, rest in peace, Paul Walker. This is one of his early films. It's not his very first, but it's like his third or fourth film, and then like seventh or eighth acting credit, something like that, because he did a bunch of television stuff, did television stuff for most of his career. And then he moved on to film, and we all know what happened then. We have Denise Richards in here, yes, good old Denise Richards, the Bond girl, the Wild Girls chick. What else do I know her from? She was married to Charlie Sheen. Yep, good old Tiger Blood himself. We have Terry Kiser in here, who is amazing. Terry Kiser, who I know him best for, is Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's. He has done some other stuff that is just as fun. He's a very memorable actor. He's one of those that he always chomps up the scenery, even like in Bernie's, where 98% of the film he does not even talk. He still is hilarious and able to act with just his movements of his body. The guy is a top-notch actor. I mean, the guy did no wrong, in my opinion. We got George Buckflower in here. George Buckflower, he is one of my favorite bit-time actors from the old days. If it's a cult exploitation type film that gets a lot of underground praise, chances are George Buckflower had a little role in there, because the guy did a lot of stuff. Like, I'd see he did two of the Ilsa movies. What else he did? Escape from New York. He did They Live. Those are just three things off the top of my head that I can think of right now that he's done, and he's done well. You know, the guy plays his role to a T, and it is a typecast type character. He kind of plays a kind of a wisecracking bumpkin type, you know, a country type. Not quite what I would say the smartest one in the group, but he definitely is not a dummy by any means either. We got John F. Goff, which, by the way, George Flower, and he's Norval, and then there's Neville. I forget who. I think John Goff is who plays Neville. He is no, it's not. Sorry, guys. I'm pretty sure I messed that up. Let me double check here real fast for you. But Norval and Neville's characters are like the best in the entire movie for as far as characters that I personally like. Let's see here, Tammy and the T-Rex. I should have double checked that before. Ken Carpenter, I knew that. Ken Carpenter is the Neville character. Norval and Neville, they are a fun little duo. They have a lot of wisecracks. They have a lot of scenery for a lot of screen time for their characters, surprisingly, because they're kind of they're not main characters in my opinion. They're co-stars. And then we got Sean Whalen in here. Like I said, John Goff. Sean Whalen, we know him from, like, People Under the Stairs. I'm just going to show this up here. People Under the Stairs. What else do I know him from? Jury Duty. A few other movies. He's got kind of a certain kind of look. It's very unique look that he has about him. Like I said, I know him best for People Under the Stairs, where he played Roach, which is an amazing Wes Craven flick. You know, if you haven't seen that one, definitely check that out. I highly recommend it. And then we have the very first role on the big screen ever for none other than Efren Ramirez, who you guys might know as Pedro Sanchez from Napoleon Dynamite. Yes, folks, this is Pedro's very first movie. He plays a pizza delivery boy, and his scene is extremely memorable, one that will stick with you throughout. But there are so many key memorable scenes in this. It is just, it's a powder keg of fun. That's all I can say. Now this is this new crisp Vinegar Syndrome release that they did of this, because I think this only had a VHS release back in the day, and I don't know if this gore cut ever. I'm sure it only ran like late night television probably, because from everything I've read and from what I've heard, it sounds like that was a rare thing to find, and this, my friends, has it. And this is one of the artworks here. Say we got Terry Kiser's character there. We got Paul Walker, Denise Richards again, and of course the T-Rex. And of course we got the guy that plays Isaac in here from Children of the Corn. He has a fun little role. No pun intended, because he's a little guy. But he has a fun little role of this scientist that came up with the technology to make this dinosaur move and work, and everything in between. Terry Kiser's character is this Dr. Wachenstein or whatever it is. He is a crazed mad scientist type, and he wants to put a brain inside of this dinosaur, and the brain happens to be Paul Walker, who is steady after Denise Richards' character. He really wants to get in her panties badly. He goes through hoops and leaps and bounds and does this and that. Like at the beginning, there's this epic little throwdown between him and the bad guy of his bully from high school, Billy the bully. Billy is there's a nice little fight between them, and it ends in a testicular standoff, as what George Buck Flowers will refer to it as. Very funny scene. Very caught me off surprise the way they both did how that standoff came into play. It is just funny. Later on, like fast forward just a little bit, he is crawling up a trellis to Tammy's window to go see her at her parents' house. La 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 la. Billy shows up. All hell breaks loose. They decide that they're gonna beat the hell out of him and take him and drop him off at this animal reserve. After they've beaten him beyond belief, they drop him off. He gets mauled by a lion, taken to a local hospital, where you get Terry Kiser and I forget what her name is. Elga, I think is her name. Helga or Inga or something like that. But anyway, I forget what the actress's name is. But him and her are quite the duo as well. She's his love interest. He comes in and basically has all these crazy things to say about the human brain and this and that, and then they shoot him with an anesthetic to where it makes it look like he's dead. They pull some quick janky things on him, like they pound on his chest a few times to pretend like they're trying to revive him. Oh no, he's dead, sorry, one of those type of ordeals. And so they take him out of there, blah 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 blah. His brain gets put into the dinosaur's head and thus makes the dinosaur move. And it doesn't talk, it does walk, it does move around, it does jaws and everything. It does everything a dinosaur would do. It roars and everything. It's not quite Jurassic Park level dinosaur, but it's your local science center exhibit, one of those kind of level of dinosaurs. It's not quite Roger Corman. It's above Roger Corman, I feel like. It's got a little more attention to detail than you would see. Other than there's moments when you see the dinosaur walking from a distance. They'll show the dinosaur walking like you see the entire dinosaur, and that looks so wonky and bad. It looks worse than your worst trauma flick at those moments. So it's not a perfect flick by any means, but it does have a lot going on here. Minus a few things like that. There's a couple little errors I've noticed throughout the film, like you see shadows of the cast or the crew from behind the camera. You see some shadows going on the walls. At one point, they do a nice little scan of them getting into this sweet ride, and as they're getting in there, you can see off the reflection of the car. You can see the camera and the crew going by on the dolly recording this. It's little flaws like that here and there in the movie, but nothing major or bad. Anything that'll will turn you off if this is your kind of film, because it is wacky. Now, this is, like I said, this is the Vinegar Syndrome release. I told you a little bit about the movie beforehand before I show you the actual release itself. Like I said, this is the Vinegar Syndrome release. It is a standard issue pressed Blu-ray DVD, and it does have a reversible artwork. Yes, a reversible artwork, which it's pretty basic and bland. I like this artwork because it's got a little more going to it. We got Terry Kiser's character in there. We got a little bit of gore. We got the Byron character down here. He's a fun little character. He is a younger guy who is he's what you would call a beta male. He's not very, very alpha. He's very outgoing. Don't get that wrong, but he is not one of those that is barking for people to look at him in a stronger way than what he is, because he is kind of a feminine type character. Not anything bad to his character at all. He's very androgynous. How about I say that? He's a very androgynous type character. He kind of reminded me, I'm not gonna lie, he reminded me of Kevin Hart a little bit, because he had some of the same kind of like delivery tones, like he was, some of the things he would say, it would sound like something Kevin Hart would say, you know, one of those kind of jokey things. Like if they ever remade this, I would want him in the as the Byron character. I wouldn't want anybody else except for him. Now, like I said, this is reversible. As far as your special features go, guys, there's what you got on the back of that. It's got 2 different cuts of this film. It's got both this uncensored gore cut, and it's also got the PG-13 cut, which I have not watched. I wonder, other than the gore, and maybe there's a couple little things here and there that are said or done that I imagine would push it above a PG-13, so that might be, there's certain things that I think might be cut out of it, or there might be things added to it that gives it a whole different perspective, because I imagine the film is the same, but different in tone, you know, because once you add that gore in there, it really changes the tone of the film really fast, and sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. Alright, now as far as what I would rate this one, on a 1 through 5 scale for as far as technicality goes, it's only going to get a 3 on its middle of the road. It could be better because of the few flaws, like where I saw the reflections or the shadows of the crew. I never, thankfully, saw the classic boom mic dip, which always makes me laugh. One of the worst ones I've seen it in is either recently was Satan's Blade. That one had it a lot, and then the very first original Dolomite film. That one had it bad in that one, but both of them great films though. Other than little flaws and errors here and there like that on the technical side, but nothing to really dissuade you from watching the film. In my opinion, it shouldn't. Now, as far as an entertainment thing goes, this thing's probably a 4 out of 5. It's almost perfect on the entertainment scale. The comedy is spot on. The jokes are just work great. This is a perfect 90s goofy, splattery, trauma-esque type movie. Honestly, I'm surprised they did not release this. That's how much it reminds me of something that they would do or release, one of their kind of product. So do definitely give this a try if you like their stuff. So an 8 out, or what did I say, a 4 and a 3, so 7 out of 10. I almost said 8 out of 10. 7 out of 10. I think that this is a perfect 7 out of 10 movie, bordering 8 depending on how many people or who you're watching it with. Because sometimes who you're watching a movie with can factor in a lot. Like there's certain people I don't like to watch certain kind of movies with. This is one of those that I would like to watch with only select people. Because I know a lot of people would talk trash on on how goofy it is, and oh, that couldn't do that. No, this is not a movie where it takes itself seriously. It's a joke. It's fun. So go in it with that. I'm gonna put this beauty down. Check it out, guys. I love it. All right, I love your faces as always. Peace as usual.